Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button below. Enjoy. Where's you going? Okay. Hello and welcome to Sorry, is that too loud? Hello and welcome to Katie.Pix. We are doing a very delicious, simple dish for you today. That is curry in a hurry. But just because we're in a hurry about these things doesn't mean we can't do it properly. So I'm going to show you how to make a delicious tikka masala curry paste that you can stash in your fridge, and when you fancy this dish, you can whip it up in literally like 15 minutes. So we're going to start by making our tikka masala curry paste. So for this, you do need a blender or some form of like electric mixer. We're going to kick things off with some ginger. So you want about a thumb-sized piece of ginger, nice and generous. I'm just going to chunk it up a little bit just to help our blender out a tad. We're then going to hit in there with some heat. So I'm going to put in 2 red chilies. I am going to be brave and I'm going to leave the seeds in. We're also going to add in 3 cloves of garlic. If you have particularly large garlic though, knock it down to 2. But I've got 3 cloves that are going to go in there as well. We're also going to add in half a bunch of coriander or a small bunch of coriander. Leaves and stalks, it's all going in. Give it a little tear to help it out and whack that into the blender too. Now it's time to add in our spices. So I've got a collection for you here, but remember, spices last really well in your store cupboard. So if you have bought one, I'm sure we'll find some use for it on this channel. Have you got any spices that are sat in your cupboard that you're desperate to use up that you need me to make a recipe for? Fire away, I'll sort it out for you. So we're going to start off with some garam masala. So good. 2 teaspoons of garam masala. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Cayenne. And 1 tablespoon of paprika. Next up, we're going to add in some salt. So we're just going to go for half a teaspoon to bring out all those lovely flavours. 1 tablespoon of desiccated coconut and 2 tablespoons of ground almonds. So now we're going to add some liquids just to loosen everything up a little bit. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of groundnut oil. And then I've got some tomato puree that we're also going to add in 2 tablespoons of that as well. 1, 2. And that's it for your paste. All that's left to do is to bring it all together with a little switch on of the blender. You do want to keep it as a paste. You're not looking for like a loose marinade. So don't be too tempted to loosen it up anymore. So what you'll be left with is a gorgeous, vibrant paste. So now our paste is done, all that's left to do is do our very speedy 15-minute curry. So we're going to do a chicken curry for this one, and we're going to use some free-range chicken thighs. I'm going to get a nice big pan on quite a high heat, and to that we're going to add in about a teaspoon of groundnut oil. Again, just using that oil just to mimic those lovely nutty flavours that we've put into the paste. I've got here about 500 grams of free-range chicken thighs. I'm just going to dice up into nice strips, looking to kind of cut them at quite even sizes. And then these are going to go into your pan and get that sizzle going. So we're going to give that a nice big stir, keeping it on that high heat and trying to give them as much space in the pan as you can, so that you are actually frying them and getting a lovely bit of colour to your chicken rather than just stewing them all because they're all sat too close together and But I can't think of a word. I need to think before I speak, but I'm just like... Whilst that is getting a lovely bit of colour on it, we are going to chop up 1 onion into some nice thinly sliced half moons. When it gets too hard, tip it over and give yourself more surface area to go again. So our chicken is pretty much cooked through. Like, I'd like it to have a little bit longer, which is going to happen when we combine all of our gorgeous juices and stuff. But for the time being, I'm just going to pop our chicken into a bowl. Set it aside for a second. Pan back on the heat and in with our onions. This just gives these guys a little chance just to soften up. If you need to, if your pan's looking a little bit dry, touch more oil just to help Keep everything lubricated. Lovely, so our onions have softened, they've gone all silky. Now's the time to add in 2 generous tablespoons of the paste that we've made. And again, keeping it on a nice high heat. We're waiting for the fragrances of the spices to open up. It'll only take a minute or 2 for those fragrances to release and for everything to start warming through. At which point we're now going to add our coconut milk and 1 tin of chopped tomatoes into the pan with these 2. Lovely, so give it a really good stir, get all those flavours well combined, and then we're gonna go back in with the chicken, which will have released some juices at this point. Get that in there too. Just stir everything up, make sure it's really well combined, and you just wanna bring it to a really light simmer. All those lovely spices are going to combine with the sauce and really, I wanna say penetrate. Is there a better word for penetrate? Infiltrate. Absorb into. We're going to leave this on the heat for about 4 to 5 minutes, let it all combine, bring it up to temperature, check it for seasoning, and then in the last minute, we're going to throw in just a handful of frozen beans, or any veg actually that you fancy. The beans have gone in and had about 1 to 2 minutes just to cook through and reheat, so obviously defrost. I was about to say unfreeze. Well done. Defrost, and now it's the taste time. Straight from the pan. This is risky. It has bags of flavour in there because you spent what? 5 minutes putting together your own paste. It makes such a difference. That is beautiful and will forever be one of my absolute go-tos. Midweek, weekend, friends are over, whatever. I hope you really like this recipe, guys. If you do enjoy it, then why not subscribe? I'm here every single Tuesday and I vlog on a Friday. Feel free to leave a comment, like if you fancy liking, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye!